My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise-canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. Well, they'll tell you all a little bit of what it comes down to now, and came to realize as I worked on the back of one of these French Bulldogs, I forgot to shave around the back of the other one, so kind of just a little time, do a little bit of that, and little back of a dog just makes me think of another story. It's like my aunt and uncle across the street, they had like a certain black Labrador that they rescued out of a river, and got a little story to tell you. My cousin was probably only about 5 or 6 years old at the time, and she hopped on the Labrador's back. My uncle, which was her dad, said, "Get off of her, she's not a horse." So, little stories I'll tell you all, little things I remember. I mean, most people who know me, they know what kind of memory I have for things. There's just a lot of ways I have of remembering things. Most people just don't remember details of things the way I do. About the things I just kind of remember every little detail of. Funny little stories I share, because some people, just some people, I mean, they think the way I remember things, they think it means that something bad happened to me as a kid, but I tell you, nothing too bad happened. I mean, probably not trauma or anything like that, like from all the things I've heard as far as what trauma is, but I think the thing of it is that it's just always been my gift and my way to just remember things. I mean, even when I was kind of an elementary age kid, I remembered things from when I was a toddler, and to that matter still do remember some things from when I was a toddler. Sometimes in little messages on the internet, I like to share with my friends all these stories I remember from when I was just a toddler. But some of these stories, I mean, probably prefer to kind of share them with my closest friends for the ways I remember them, because they were just kind of sweet little stories to me sometimes. They kind of had a lot of nice, interesting little backgrounds to them, and the ways I've lived my life in life, it's like, it's just kind of nice little ways to know about things, to share good little things in life. Probably I'd say it comes a moment when we can come down to carving out the little hindquarters of these little French Bulldogs, just like we already did with the English Bulldogs, and kind of remove the wood along and take it so it's not going to be in the way anymore, and kind of put it down to what it's just going to be. I say, this little treasure and trash, I say, it's going to be easy to take. Sometimes, just sometimes, people buy wood from the woodcraft to make things out of it. They buy it to make tables. They buy it to turn it on a lathe. Probably buy it with which to turn bowls and carve out little dough bowls like the pioneers did and things like that. But I kind of have my own little purposes and reasons for why I buy wood, and there's just certain things I like to carve out of them. And somebody once taught me how to carve a bowl out of wood and carve spoons and things like that. Those really weren't my favorite things to make. to me personally, I'd say to make a bowl is a lot of hard work. And, you know, you make a lot of money off of them. You can sell them for pretty high prices, but, you know, they're just a lot of hard work for me. I prefer to kind of have a little something easier to do, like carve something that's probably decorative or a toy or something like that. Once or twice I've even turned a few coffee mugs on a lathe, and I still have my lathe. I just recently set it back up in my shop, but I don't really use it that much. There's a lot of things you have to do to turn on a lathe safely, and one of those things is you have to be wearing a mask, protective eyewear, you have to wear a protective apron, definitely. I once knew a man, even though he's deceased now, there was a certain story he told me when he was alive. It was about how that he sort of like lived in a house one time where he turned on this lathe, and luckily enough he was wearing his apron and everything, because there was a certain piece of wood that kind of flew off the lathe, and his apron kept it from piercing his chest. So his apron was how he survived that. And another piece of the wood kind of went into the wall that time, and he kept that piece of wood in the wall until the day he moved out of that house, just to be his constant reminder to wear his apron when he was turning on the lathe. I'd say, you know, I've probably turned a few pins on a lathe as well, but, you know, turning wasn't really my thing. I always just kind of like doing things that are just a little bit more artistic and all. So, you know, I'd say that there are some artists for whom, you know, turning things can be just as fun as carving things, but it kind of differs from the one to the next of us. There's probably other things I like to make out of polymer clay and denim and jeans and fabric and things like that, but would say when it comes down to it, you know, turning on a lathe just isn't really my thing. And so we've come along with the work here, trying to decide what to work on next, but I think we're going to kind of remove some wood along the chests of these little dogs around their front sides, and kind of take it to where we're going to make their faces out a little more, kind of show a little extra art in the wood as to how we're going to get little things just to turn out so great. I say it's just kind of one little piece of artwork after another. I say blessed work. It's just kind of like what we do here. Let's remove some wood from the chin. There's kind of a little extra space to take as we work our way about what all we do. I say kind of like working in the morning and working in the evening. And today was just my day for carving videos. Kind of felt yesterday like I needed a little recovery from my exercise and fitness, and spent a little time carving yesterday, but today was just a good day for me to get back to recording my videos once again. And we're going to take this same little step along the front side of the English Bulldog that we took along the Frenchie a little while ago, and try to make its feet out and its little front legs out, and kind of work along with this. Sometimes, just sometimes, I don't always know exactly where I am in the series, but we got a little ways to take a little things just to kind of work on our art to where we see just a kind of work that is going to make it all just kind of have its own special ways in life to work on little things here and there, make them worthwhile. So I'd say for this video, that's about as far as I'll go. I'll kind of be ending it in a little bit. Kind of was hoping I'd narrow it down to about 10 minutes, just like I just about did here, and without the intro and the outro, that'll just be an inclusion on. So that's what I wanted to say today to you, and all you had to hear and know and see. So thank you very much. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.